Hi guys, another haul. Are you happy? But today I have a beautiful range of fragrances that are definitely underrated. Not many people talk about it, and I just want to share them with you because I spent a lot of time with the owner in Cannes, and he just sent me the full collection, and they're so nice. They're so nice and not too expensive. So let me share them with you. And by the way, no, I'm not sponsored by the brand to share anything. However, thankfully, I have a discount code. So if you want to get some money off, I think they offer 10% off your purchase, then it is available, it is active, then you can use it if you're interested in something, and everything, of course, is going to be linked below. So the brand we're going to focus on today is my new, I don't want to say my new favorite because I have so many new favorites, but it kind of is my new favorite. What can I say? I love these fragrances, and they're from a brand called Viage, and they're all about journey around the biggest cities in the world. Let's actually start alphabetically as much as I can, and this is Ageless Alexandria. I love the city of Alexandria. Of course, it has so many beautiful stories about it. You know, it was established by Alexander the Great. And of course, Cleopatra was residing there as well. And the whole library story, you guys know, I'm a history freak, but I don't want to bore you. So, Ageless Alexandria is gonna be your vanilla scent from the collection. It's actually categorized as vanilla woody aromatic, and it's so gorgeous. So gorgeous. It's a deep vanilla, all right? It's a deep vanilla that kind of goes into direction of Gris Charnel. So think of Gris Charnel DNA, but with a lot of vanilla and tonka. So this one has black tea, fig, violet leaf, coriander, bergamot, and cardamom. Then you have lily of the valley, some vetiver, black pepper, rose, and iris. And in the base, you've got bourbon vanilla, sandalwood, tonka, patchouli, and ambergris. And again, for me, this is like Gris Charnel, but way more vanilla, tonka. It also feels richer. So if you love your Gris Charnel, it still has that fig tea aromatic aspect. It's not as milky. Just remove that milky facet of that chai latte and replace it with vanilla and tonka. That's what it is to me. So Ageless Alexandria is such a good fig tea, peppery, a little bit powdery tonka vanilla fragrance. So good. It's definitely on the aromatic side, just like Gris Charnel. So yeah, to put the story short, if you are a fan of Gris Charnel or Gris Charnel Extrait, you absolutely have to check this one out because I feel like it's the nicest out of everything Gris Charnel like that I tried. I think this and Latafa Antique are my two favorites from the genre. This, Ageless Alexandria, and Latafa Antique. The best. But this one has the most vanilla. This one definitely has the most vanilla out of them all. So yeah, Ageless Alexandria, phenomenal performance on all of them, but this one is definitely deep and dense and very potent. Okay, now let's move on to something very citrusy, very aromatic. If you're a fan of ginger, this is for you. This is Bursting Barcelona, and it has ginger, bergamot, orange, grapefruit, another bergamot, and citron. So it's a very citrusy opening. Then you have Nigerian ginger, rosemary, sage, neroli, cinnamon, water notes, and geranium. And in the base, you have Gaiac wood, tea, black tea actually, labdanum, olibanum, abroxan, and amber. So this is truly a perfect, zesty, citrusy, aromatic fragrance that's unisex. For me, Alexandria is also unisex, but because of the heavy dose of vanilla and tonka, it actually leans more feminine than Gris Charnel does, all right? And this one, Barcelona, is for all of you who love ginger, grapefruit, and some aromatic notes. It's actually very, very similar to Louis Vuitton Le Immensite. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's from the private collection of Louis Vuitton, L'Immensité. I think that now I nailed it. L'Immensité, yeah. From Louis Vuitton. Way more complex than Louis Vuitton. Barcelona is way more complex. It's more like rich and dense in those aromatic and citrus notes. It's definitely amp up on everything that Louis Vuitton would have. And you have the addition of neroli, you have the addition of cinnamon. So in general, it's just more complex and rich. So I really, really like it for everyone who needs a beautiful citrus with aromatic touches. Then this is fantastic. And especially if you love ginger. Ginger, grapefruit combination, that's what it is. Oh yeah, so good. All right, next one I have here is a very ambery, slightly woody fragrance. And that is, where are you? Magnetic Monaco. This is super sophish, all right? Very, very sophisticated fragrance. Great for evenings. Great for evenings. And again, it starts off beautiful grapefruit and spices and some exotic florals. So I'm guessing maybe some frangipani, maybe a little bit of tiare. You definitely get that tropical facet of florals and the grapefruit and the spices. And you get woodiness with ambroxan and vanilla and amber in the base. So it's a less complex, but it feels very rich. You mainly are gonna get loads of grapefruit, some spices, and ambery, ambroxany, vanilla in the dry down. So Monaco is for everyone who loves fragrances like Ganymede, actually. This to me is way less mineral than Ganymede, way less mineral. It doesn't have saffron. You know, it's a different scent. It's not a dupe or anything, but it has some facets of Ganymede. This one is just more fun and flirtatious and zesty, and it smells like sunshine to me. It smells like sunshine. It's perfect for, you know, just going on the beach when the sunset is happening. It's so nice. It's so, so nice. So Monaco, I really, really love. Then we have something that's very pineapple-y, slightly woody, and I think you're gonna enjoy it if you love like tropical fruity fragrances. This is Vibrant Venice. So as you can see, all the bottles look the same, but I think it looks so nice actually. So Vibrant Venice again has a lot of pineapple, it has a lot of grapefruit, it has other citruses like bergamot, orange, and mandarin orange. So it's very, very sweet citrusy in the beginning. Then you have some patchouli and jasmine and cedar. And then you have some woody notes and oak moss. And it slightly reminds me of Creed Aventus, but done in more like the citruses are way more prominent and the woods are less prominent comparing to Creed Aventus. For me, this is like a pineapple, grapefruit, slightly woody fragrance with some jasmine for sure. Yeah, if you like Creed Aventus DNA, then I highly suggest checking this out. Again, they're not dupes, but it really, really does remind me of fragrances like Hacivat, Creed Aventus, but this one is just so smooth and very, very sweet. So I think many girlies will love it. If you like the DNA, but Creed Aventus or Hacivat feel a little bit too masculine for you, then Venice is gonna smooth it out. It's sweeter, it's more pineapple-y, so check out Venice because it's very, very, very nice. I'm not talking about projection and longevity here, because each time it's really, really great. With those more citrusy fragrance, I get around 7 to 8 hours, and with those heavier, more vanillic, ambery fragrance, I get even more, like even 10 hours. So in general, the performance of these fragrances is great through and through. All right, next we have, oh my gosh, now it's getting hard to tell you which is the favorite, but maybe let's go with Shimmering Shanghai, shall we? Shimmering Shanghai, I already included it in my lychee video, and Shimmering Shanghai is a very complex take on rose, lychee, vanilla DNA. It might remind you slightly of the Lina. However, this one is just way more complex. So in here you have powdery notes, you have ylang, you have bergamot, jasmine, rhubarb, nutmeg, lychee, rose. So that rhubarb, nutmeg, lychee, rose is definitely comparable to the Lina, and that's why you get that similar facet. But then you get loads of floral notes: Turkish rose, tonka bean, vanilla, jasmine, peony, rose, musk. Then you have heliotrope. Then you have some vetiver, cashmeran, again jasmine, incense, sugar, rose, musk, and cedar. So again, very, very dense fragrance with a lot of complexity. It does remind me of the Lina slightly, but is way more rich. It feels more powdery and a little bit more tropical comparing to the Lina. Because of the ylang, because of heavier dose of lychee, it just feels more tropical. And then it gets more like powdery, almost almondy in the dry down because of the heliotrope. And additionally to all the sweet notes you have in the dry down, you've got sugar. So the sweetness is even more here than in the Lina. So Shimmering Shanghai is absolutely beautiful. If you love the DNA of the Lina, if you love lychee, if you love those cashmere-like notes, if you love heliotrope, if you love fragrances that are slightly powdery but still have a tropical facet, then Shimmering Shanghai is beautiful. It's definitely one of my absolute favorites from this whole collection. All right, then we've got something even more tropical, and that is Tranquil Tokyo. And Tranquil Tokyo is a very, very different take on a mango. So here you have some red berries, mango, ginger, and lemon. Then you have woody notes, coumarin, which aka tonka, and jasmine. And then you have agarwood and oud. So it's like double dose of oud. Cypriol oil, which also resembles oud in many fragrances, amber, and musk. So this is definitely on a heavy side. On Fragrantica, people compare it to God of Fire from Stefan Umbeluca, but I don't agree. It's way stronger, way more dense, and way more potent. Yet, because of the combination of mango and red berries, it just hits different. All right, it just hits different. And don't be afraid of so much oud, because it's a very, very smooth, sweet, very plush oud, I would say. It's nothing harsh about this fragrance. Actually, the harshest thing you get is mango and red berries. That's actually the harshest thing. So this one is absolutely beautiful. If you are a fan of mango, here you have another amazing mango. Another amazing mango. This one, comparing to the others, is very fruity, almost sour leaning because of the red berries. And then it has a very, very smooth base of woodiness, but again, it's nothing harsh. It's a very, very smooth woody base. So that's Tranquil Tokyo. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Sometimes I feel like I have too much mango, but then I explore something new, like this one, or Panna Cottaha, recently given to me by Gabby, and I'm like, no, it's not enough. It's never enough to have hundreds of mangoes fragrances, right? So Tokyo, another beautiful mango, a bit different because it has that sour fruity aspect. It's very, very fruity, that's for sure. In general, it's a fruity, woody, tropical scent. I love this one so much. And it's very, very strong. Okay, then we have the only fragrance that is in a black bottle, and that is an homage to Dubai. So here we have Dazzling Dubai, and this one is absolutely stunning. There's, even though it's a common scent profile, there's nothing like it that I have or smelled. It has Egyptian balsam, it has damask rose and grapefruit, then it has fruity notes, honeysuckle and vanilla, and then in the base it has some more floral notes, resins, amber and musk. So it's a gorgeous balmy amber with amazing, amazing vanilla running through it, and it's also quite fruity. So yeah, I love it. I love it. Like, this is my favorite kind of resinous amber vanilla. Like, this is it for me. It's smoky, it's almost like a little bit burned of a wood running through this fragrance. It's very dense. And so sexy, guys, so sexy. Like, this vanilla here, this vanilla combined with honeysuckle and amber and those fruits and the grapefruit in the very beginning, game over. Game over. I love this one to bits. When my boyfriend saw this bottle and smelled it, he was like, oh, this is not for the whole household, this is just for me, right? And I'm like, no, I'm gonna wear it to bits. Actually, you know what it reminds me of? This slightly, the vibe, not the fragrance, but the vibe, and that same woodiness and amberiness reminds me, and vanilla, reminds me very much of Goldfield and Banks' Silky Woods. So if you love Goldfield and Banks, you will adore this scent. This is such a good take on that woody, vanillic, Middle Eastern, ambery, resinous scent. But this one, I think it's even better because it has fruity touches. So yeah, Dazzling Dubai, love, love, love. And I'm not sharing this with anyone. I'm not. Sorry. But this is just for me. I said what I said. All right, we have 3 or 4 more fragrances. I think 4. So let's go through them. And these, like, Dubai, absolute fave, as well as Tokyo, absolute fave. Shanghai, absolute fave. You know, if you love the Rina-like fragrances, but more lychee, more powdery, more heliotrope, the best. But these 3 are like, when you smell them, you're just gonna die. So let's start with, I think this one is definitely the densest, and that is Idyllic Istambul. I love Istambul, by the way. It's like the best combination of old and new, of historic and contemporary, of magical and modern. I love Istambul. And Istambul has salt and ozonic notes. Then it has Turkish rose and praline. And in the base, it has a molecule of amber extreme, patchouli, and vanilla. And honestly, I cannot compare it to anything. Maybe Mercurial Cashmere from Electimus, which is also like vanilla and a little bit leaning towards Olympia territory. This also leans into Olympia territory from Paco Rabanne. Definitely. But this is such a good refined fragrance that I just cannot. Yeah. It's a salty vanilla. It's a salty vanilla with praline and a lot of amber. Reminds me very much of Mercurial Cashmere from Electimus. Also reminds me of Olympia. However, Olympia, honestly, comparing to this, is very artificial smelling. This smells so refined and so smooth, just like Mercurial Cashmere does. But this one is even more like salty praline. So I love it. Ah, so good. So good. If you love salty vanillas with, you know, that ambroxany, praline facet, this is for you. I love Istambul. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. It's so good. So good. I'm so sorry to not bash any fragrance, but I love them all. They're so well done. They're so well done. Let's go into slightly citrusy again, but again, very fruity and with vanilla dry down. And that is Hypnotic Honolulu. Like, they don't go wrong. They just don't go wrong. It is a little bit mineral, kind of like you're standing on the beach, like in a very, very expensive resort. You know, you just had dinner, you have that beautiful dress on, and you're walking out from the patio to the beach. That's that mineral facet that I get. Then you get mandarin orange, lemon, bergamot and orange. Then you get loads of fruits. It's a very, very fruity fragrance. Violet leaf, immortelle, and saffron. And in the dry down, you've got musk, vanilla, agarwood, amber, suede, and osmanthus. And it's literally like vacation in a very, very expensive resort in Honolulu. It is for everyone who likes citrusy openings with that slight mineral facet, who like very, very fruity scents with vanilla, darker, woodier dry down. But it's definitely very sweet, very vanilla, citrusy in the beginning, and super, super fruity in the mid. I don't get much saffron, to be honest. Maybe slightly, maybe slightly. It gives that transparency, same that you get in Baccarat Rouge, okay? But this is predominantly a fruity, vanilla, woody fragrance with citrusy, breezy top. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I have nothing to compare it to, but it's just gorgeous. And last but not least, guys, this is something that definitely, I think, was a little bit inspired by Hibiscus Mahajad. But honestly, and I admit it, I admit it, it smells like it. It just smells like it. But you have such a good quality, and the price is, I think, fraction. Because these fragrances are around $100. And this is beaming Buenos Aires. And this, I'm not gonna lie to you, it truly smells like Hibiscus Mahajad from Maison Crivelli. It really, really does. And this has damask rose and hibiscus, musk mallow, cinnamon, and mint. Then it has ambrette, vanilla, leather, and spicy notes. The difference that I would say it has is the proportion, and I do prefer the proportion of the notes and oils in Buenos Aires, because this one is way more vanilla. Think of Hibiscus Mahajad. For me, it has a little bit of a screechy downfall because of heavier leather. This one is not leathery. I really don't get much leather. What I get in the dry down is ambrette and vanilla. And for me, it's just nicer. It's just truly nicer. I'm not gonna beat around the bushes. You guys know that I do like the DNA of Hibiscus Mahajad. You guys know I have a lot of comparable perfumes to Hibiscus Mahajad that I reviewed already. But to be truly honest with you, I'm sorry to say, but this is the best one, and this is better than the OG. way better. They took the note structure and made it so much better, so much feminine, so much sweeter. It's so much sweeter. It's like bursting vanilla ambrette and hibiscus and some rose, of course, and you have that nice breezy fresh sweet mint running through it, just like in hibiscus. So I do honestly, with hand on my heart, sorry, I just beat the microphone with my hand, I do prefer it over hibiscus. I'm very sorry. I know the OG is OG, but I do prefer this one. It's simply more of what I love in a fragrance comparing to Hibiscus Mahajad. Hibiscus Mahajad to me is way more leathery and less sweet. And this one is way more sweet, way more fruity leaning, and way more vanilla. And you guys know I love my vanilla, so there's nothing I can do about it. I love this take on this DNA. So beaming Buenos Aires, I think, would be my favorite. And let me now rate them all. So as you probably can tell, Buenos Aires will be my first 10 out of 10. Then I would say my another absolute 10 out of 10 will be, where are you? Where are you? Tokyo. Oh yes, Tokyo is just beautiful because you have a very different take on mango with the red berries and that beautiful smooth oud. Another 10 out of 10. So we have 2 10s out of 10s already. Then of course I have to give it to Idyllic Istambul. Absolutely gorgeous. If you love fragrances like Olympia or Mercurial Cashmere or any other salty vanilla, this is your next best thing because it's done to perfection within the genre. So Istambul Amazeballs, another third 10 out of 10. Then I would say we do have to absolutely give it 10 out of 10 to Dazzling Dubai. Reminds me a little bit of my favorite fragrance right before this, since I had it earlier on, Goldfield and Banks Silky Woods. It's very similar. It's that same burnt woods with vanilla, amber. It's just to die for. So Dazzling Dubai, fourth 10 out of 10 from this range, which is crazy. And my fifth 10 out of 10, my darlings, there's a fifth one, yes, is Shimmering Shanghai, because again they took that gorgeous Delina-esque lychee rosy DNA and made it their own with heliotrope and cashmerean, and it's also way more tropical than Delina, so I think it's way more summer appropriate. There's more lychee in here comparing to Delina, so this is my fifth 10 out of 10. Then we have to go a little bit lower. Ageless Alexandria, gorgeous vanillic take, very tonka vanillic take, non-milky take on Gris Chardonnay DNA. I give it a solid 9 out of 10. Then we have 4 more fragrances for all my ginger, super citrusy lovers. Bursting Barcelona, I give it solid 8.5 out of 10 because even though it's citrusy and very zesty, it lasts forever. Then we have gorgeous fruity citrusy fragrance with ambery, vanillic, woody dry down, which is Hypnotic Honolulu. I love it. This one I should also rate as 9. I'm sorry for very high notes, but they're very good. Then we have Venice, and we also have Monaco. And honestly, Monaco is beautiful, but I will give it 7.5 just because comparing to others it's not as favorite. It's a very nice, also like, you know, citrusy but deeper fragrance. Yeah, I mean, it's lovely, but let's, you know, let's give it some difference in the nose, right? Let's give it a proper rating. And last but not least, we have Vibrant Venice, which is very, very similar to fragrances like Hasivat and Creed Aventus. Very pineapple oriented, way more feminine and way more smoother than Aventus or Hasivat. But since it is quite similar to them, I will rate it a solid 7. I love it, but still, solid 7. So there you have it. And once again, giving you my absolute 10s out of 10s. Idyllic Istambul, amazing. Salty Pralini Vanilla. Buenos Aires, the best version of Hibiscus Mahajat you can think of, truly. And I've tested a lot, and this is the best, better than the original. If you want something more sweet and more like dense vanilla, like almost gourmand-leaning vanilla, then Buenos Aires is the one. So that's another 10 out of 10. Tranquil Tokyo, amazing mango, very, very unique take on a mango, 10 out of 10, very unique. And of course, Shimmering Shanghai, I have to give it to it. Yeah. So that is it, my darlings. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're gonna check out these gorgeous scents, because I'm so happy with them. I'm so grateful and happy to have the whole collection. I'm gonna use it and abuse it, especially that I'm going on vacation. I'm definitely gonna take Shanghai with me, or maybe Honolulu. I don't know yet, but I love them all. So check them out. Again, my discount code is active and linked for you below. So that is it for today, and see you in my next one. Bye bye.